So it is currently Wednesday and I am 5 weeks and 4 days into my pregnancy. And I'll have to admit, I've been a bit nervous the last couple of days. Jason's still away on his course. He's back tomorrow. I am very much looking forward to him being back tomorrow. He's using all this information about the pregnancy as a nice distraction from the coursework. I have been worried the last couple of days because my symptoms yesterday seemed to subside slightly. I found out that I am actually experiencing morning sickness, according to my best friend who recently had a baby. Apparently any form of nausea in any way, shape or form is classed as morning sickness, which is ridiculous because I get nauseous just by being hungry. Like if I'm too hungry, I get nauseous. That's just a fact of me and my body. But apparently because I am pregnant, that's classed as morning sickness, which is just ridiculous. And also my gagging reflex to McDonald's. I'm still struggling to say the word, and I am still struggling to actually think of anything from that particular fast food restaurant without it causing me to gag. Apparently that is classed as morning sickness as well, even though it's technically a food aversion, but because it promotes a gagging reflex or a vomiting response, that is therefore classed as morning sickness. I don't understand why, but okay. So yeah, apparently I am experiencing morning sickness, which I didn't realise. But the last 2 days I have been a little worried and I had to do a lot of researching to reassure myself that everything is okay, because basically my symptoms have started subsiding slightly. I'm not as tired, I'm not as fatigued. Like yesterday, I think I had a nap at 9 o'clock because I got really fatigued at 9 and then I was fine then for the rest of the day. And even this morning, I've not really been tired, I've not really been exhausted. Talk about right on cue there. But again, for me, I yawn a lot because just the word yawn can trigger me to yawn. Or any mentioning of being tired or fatigued or exhausted can cause me to yawn. It's really weird. And that's just normal for me. I didn't think anything of that. But a lot of the other symptoms have subsided. I'm not cramping anymore. The cramping has stopped. I'm still getting a bit of what I can only describe as pressure in my lower abdomen, just very, 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 very mild pressure. And even that sort of stopped yesterday. It came back slightly this morning and then it's gone again. What were my other symptoms? I can't even remember. My back pain's gone. My back pain has gone completely, as well as a couple of other symptoms that have magically vanished. And I'll be honest, this made me worry because since Monday, I've been doing a bit of research on miscarriages and the symptoms of miscarriages so that I can prepare myself for what to look out for in case something does go wrong, which I don't want to encourage. I don't want to bring to life. I want this to be a very happy, healthy pregnancy. But I wanted to be prepared for the worst scenario, and it never mentioned at any point that the symptoms subsiding was a sign of miscarriage, but I couldn't help but be worried at the reduction in symptoms that meant something could be happening in the negative way. I didn't know. So I've done a lot of research today, a hell of a lot of research into the symptoms and them subsiding, and apparently it's normal. Apparently it's completely normal. The Reddit pages and Google and NHS and everything I could find, people have made videos on it as well. Like OBGYNs from America and stuff have made videos on it. Apparently this is completely normal. Supposedly your hormones come out in bursts, like shots being fired. One day the symptoms will be really bad, or the symptoms will be more obvious, and then the next day you might not have any symptoms at all, or only 1 or 2 symptoms. Or some days you might not experience anything for like 2 or 3 days, then it'll all hit you like a brick, because it depends completely on which hormones are firing and which hormones are elevated that day compared to which hormones are lower that day. So in a way, it's nice to know and it's nice to be reassured that this is normal, especially when this is your first pregnancy and you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea what's going on. It's like, I'm still researching, I'm still learning, because even though I have been hoping to have a child and planning to have a child, you don't actually research pregnancy until you're actually actively in pregnancy. You're so focused with getting pregnant or thinking about trying to get pregnant. I say busy, obviously it's not something we've actively tried for. We just let nature take its course. If we got pregnant, fine. If we didn't, oh well. We weren't actively trying with the intention of getting pregnant. We let fate decide whether or not we were going to be pregnant or not. And even then, you don't actually think about learning about pregnancy or researching about pregnancy until you are actually pregnant. When my symptoms started subsiding, and I just recently been doing research on miscarriages, I panicked. the nerves are kicking in. I was getting worried, and that nervous thought at the back of my mind did stay for most of last night. I did get a good night's sleep though. I got a very good night's sleep with very vivid dreams, and I have vivid dreams anyway, but last night's were really vivid. And I know some pregnant women have actually done whole videos on their dreams for their pregnancy, or what dreams they've experienced during their pregnancy, and usually I can remember my dreams really well, but last night I didn't remember my dream very well. I only remember flashes of it, but I remember it feeling like it was real. And I remember it was partially because of the book I was reading. I'm currently reading the Sarah J. Maas series still. I'm on A Course of Wings and Ruin. I think I'm over 2/3 through the book, maybe even 3/4 of the way through the book. And I've just finished the chapter where the High Lords are having a meeting and they're deciding whether or not to perform in the war, or whether or not to join forces in the war. In fact, no, I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give any spoilers for anyone that's not read it yet. I know it is a fairly old series now, but I don't want to give any spoilers because it is one of the best stories I've ever read. It's really, really good. It could be better. It could be written slightly better, but it is a very good story, and you do really start caring for the characters. You really, truly care for the characters. So I did actually dream about that, and I dreamt that I was in meeting of the High Lords, and I was one of the entourages or something. I can't remember who I was or which court I was with. I just remember I was in one of the entourages, and I remember wanting to unalive Tamlin because he was really annoying me. And something else happened. I remember one of my friends was in the dream. Before the meeting took place, there was something else going on. I can't remember for the life of me what happened. I really need to start documenting these because my dreams get so vivid, and some... Meow. I don't know why I'm responding to her. She can't hear me. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. I'm in here. My deaf cat there. She's deaf as a doorpost, so she can't find us, she screams. What was I talking about? Vivid dreams. Yeah, I probably should make a note of some of the dreams I have, because some of them stick with me for years, and some of them just vanish in the blink of an eye. But for anyone watching this who is at around the similar stage of me, or it's still in their first trimester, if you do start to notice your symptoms subsiding, it is apparently normal. Apparently it's completely normal, so don't worry about it too much. Don't get nervous of it, don't worry about it. But if you are worried, apparently the best thing you can do is contact your midwife or your GP. Or if you're in America, contact your OBGYN, I suppose. I've actually got a really easy day with the dogs today, and I'm currently in debate whether or not to start letting my clients know about the pregnancy, because the pregnancy is going to affect my dog walking. It is going to affect how many dogs I can walk at the same time, purely from a standpoint of I don't want the dogs pulling me over or causing me to fall. So I need to try and make sure that the walks are in a way that it's not going to cause me the highest risk. Currently, 2 of my bigger dogs do have to be on lead sometimes, and they do tend to be pullers. They tend to be big pullers. I am going to have to try and make sure that they're not on the walks at the same time, which means I might have to add in a 3rd walk, which means starting earlier and finishing a bit later. But if that's what I have to do in order to keep myself safe and prevent any trips and falls, that's what I have to do to keep myself safe. So I am debating whether or not to tell my clients today, tomorrow, just so that they're aware. I was going to try and hold off until after my first trimester, but I'm also thinking it might be better to tell them sooner rather than later, so that they're aware of any last minute changes due to appointments and things like that. I'll have to have a think about that. That is something you'd also need to consider in when you first get pregnant, is who and when to tell, because like I said, I've already told my 2 best friends. My 2 best friends are aware, and we are telling Jason's parents this Friday, which is very exciting. I am very, very, very eager to tell them. And again, we're only telling them this early because they have experienced the negative side, so we want that kind of emotional support. And yeah, we're going to keep going. Let's see what the rest of this week brings, but I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of enjoying the symptoms subsiding a little at the moment. It's making me feel more human. It's making me feel less pregnant, which is weird. But it is making me feel more like my old self and more human, which is nice. Apparently the symptoms do start ramping up in week 6, week 7, from what I've been told. I'm not sure. I was left waiting for now. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I actually have a busy day today after work. I'm going to go see my best friend Simone. with her new little baby Aiden. She's one of the people that knows about the pregnancy. I believe one of our friends is joining us, but that friend does not know about the pregnancy, so we're going to have to try and keep that on the lowdown. And she's also going to be offloading a lot of baby stuff to me. She was actually in preparation of getting rid of a lot of her little ones, newborn stuff and baby stuff that they no longer need and no longer use because he's no longer newborn. He's about 3 months old now. No, month and a half, 2 months, 2 months old now. So she's got a load of baby stuff that she doesn't need now. So she's very excited to start offloading that to me. And I'm very excited to take it because this will be the start of our baby stash, which is very, very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Right, I'm going to start rambling because I need to get to work. So it's now Thursday. The pregnancy's back. The symptoms, like the pregnancy never went away. The symptoms are back because, as I said, I've been nervous the last couple of days about the fact that I've not had any symptoms. They're back today. The symptoms are back today. I'm fatigued. Like, I've been fine for the last couple of hours and then my body's in a bit of a clock. Around 9 o'clock, like either just before or just after 9, I start getting drowsy. I start getting really drowsy, and it's actually about 8:45 right now. Hence, the drowsiness is now kicking in. And I can't do anything about it either because I've got a really busy day, so I can't take a nap right now. On top of that, I feel like I've been hit in the face with hay fever. I've not even stepped outside yet today. All the windows are closed and sealed, so I know there's no pollen in the house, and it's been raining, and pollen is always lower on rainy days, so I know it's not hay fever. But I feel like I've been hit in the face with hay fever, which is the congestion symptoms. Been nauseous again this morning, like my hunger nausea. I only ever start to feel even mildly sick when I get really, really hungry, or I think about McDonald's. Still struggling with that word. Ugh. No, I said the word. Oh, stop thinking about McDonald's. Think about something else. Think about something you enjoy. Think about strawberries. Think about pears. Think about jackfruit. Think about potatoes. Carrots. Yeah, tasty stuff that you enjoy. Come on. So that's back. Yesterday I could actually say that word, that fast food restaurant. Today I cannot. Not without gagging. Oh, what other symptom did I notice this morning? I can't remember. Bloating. I'm a bit bloated at the moment. I was definitely worried for no reason. Lots of the symptoms are back. Lots of the symptoms of pregnancy are back, which makes me happy. It makes me very happy. It makes me happy to feel like I'm ill. But it means that baby is hopefully growing and doing well. Our little minion is hopefully growing and doing well. It's also a very busy day for me today. I have to leave any minute now to actually get the cat to the cattery because we're going on holiday tomorrow. It's mine and Jason's first little holiday just to ourselves with no friends, no family, no nothing. In 11 years, it's the first time we're going on holiday together. And what a way to spend our 11-year anniversary celebrating our first holiday together and our new little one that's on the way. What a celebration. So I need to get the cat to the cattery, and then I need to go to work, and then Jason's finally coming home from his course today. Although he's had a bad experience at his course this last night, he's been struggling to sleep because the accommodation hasn't been great and the blinds have been broken, so they've been letting light in at stupid o'clock in the morning. But not only that, this morning at 4:30 a.m. the fire alarm went off. Apparently it got set off by the kitchen, so I'm assuming someone's got up in the middle of the night and tried to make toast or something, forgot about it and burnt it, and the toaster set off the smoke alarm. I have no idea. But they got woke up at 4:30 this morning by the fire alarm, and unfortunately, one of the things that triggers Jason's migraines is getting startled awake in the middle of the night or in the middle of REM sleep. He's woke up with a very bad migraine this morning, which makes me nervous a little bit. It is actually weird. Usually I'm not nervous when he goes away on courses and stuff like this, but because I know he's doing an open water course because of his power boating, and I know the weather's not been great, I have had these images in my head of him falling overboard and drowning, which would never happen because he's a stupidly competent swimmer. But I don't know why, I just had this image that he was gonna go overboard and get lost at sea type thing. And now that he's got this migraine, I've got images in my head of him trying to drive home and passing out and going into trees and his car exploding, or maybe not paying attention and driving into someone, or someone driving into him and him crashing on the way home. You've got to love the ability to overthink. You've got to love the brain's ability to overthink and think of every single worst possible scenario. He is coming home today, thankfully, and I am very much looking forward to seeing him. I have missed him these last few days. The girls have missed him. The girls are currently in their cages still. After work, we need to come home. We need to get ready for this holiday. We need to pack. I need to clean the girls' cages and the girls' stands and their areas when they go to bed, because they are going to stay at Jason's mum and dad's for the weekend, and we're taking all their cages and everything with them. And then we need to actually pack ourselves for our holiday. We need to pack our luggage and what food we're taking with us and stuff like that. So it's going to be a very busy, very, very busy day today. I did have a lovely time at my friend's house yesterday though. One of our other friends joined us. It was funny because I had to try and hold back and not mention anything about the pregnancy, which was easier than I expected, but I constantly had this fear in the back of my mind I was going to let something slip, and thankfully I didn't. Although I also get this sensation that she suspects something, because my other friend has really, really, really strong ADHD. She needs to be medicated. Her ADHD is that bad. Whereas I like to class myself as high-functioning ADHD. It doesn't affect my life as badly as other people. Obviously, I've not been officially diagnosed, but so many people have told me I should get diagnosed, or that it does sound like I have it, or I've most likely got it because I have a lot of the symptoms. I just see it as, well, it doesn't affect my day-to-day life too heavily, or impact my day-to-day life too heavily. I can get by just fine, so I'm not really too fussed about a diagnosis. But my friend has really, 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 really strong ADHD, and it also means she's got really good intuition, and I don't know why, I just got the vibes that she suspected something was off or was different about me last night. I could be completely wrong. And she doesn't suspect anything, and I'm just picking up on that she's sensing something else. I have no idea. I managed to not let anything slip last night, which is good. But we had a lovely time. And we ended up getting takeaway, because we always get takeaway when we meet up, because we don't find it fair to expect my friend to cook, and we only ever really meet up at her house because it's like a halfway point. Although me and Jason are looking forward to the day that we can get our own place, because then we can start having our friends round, so we can take turns like hosting, so to speak. But the takeaway we got was a chicken meal type thing from a takeaway, and it was literally like 2 whole chickens that had just been ripped in half, and it came with a variety of salad and red onions, cucumbers, tomatoes, and all sorts, and coleslaw, and some popcorn chicken with garlic mayo, which was really nice. So we basically all shared that. I stuck with the chicken breast because I really don't like chicken from the bone. It's just too greasy and slimy for me. I don't like it at all. Whereas chicken breast is a lot drier, and I don't know why I prefer that dryness in my chicken. So I had the chicken breast, and it turns out most of my other friends didn't like chicken breast or preferred meat off the bone, so they all devoured the meat on the bone while I had the chicken breasts. Had literally the tiniest handful of chips, and then tried to eat as much of the vegetables as I physically could. So I had lots of coleslaw, which was really nice actually, the coleslaw from that place. So I had some coleslaw, I had some of the onions, I had the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and a variety of other bits. So I just tried to eat as much of the salad and the meat as I physically could, because obviously like takeaway isn't the healthiest thing, but that was probably one of the healthier takeaways that I could have possibly asked for. Much healthier than pizza and stuff like that, so I can't complain. It was meat and veg. I can't complain at that. And then we had a lovely chat and a lovely catch up, which was very much needed. Very, very much needed indeed. Unfortunately, I need to get going because, like I said, I've got a really busy day today. I need to get to the cat to the vets, not the vets. I need to get the cat to the cattery, and I need to do it now before I start work, because if I start work first, I ain't getting the cat to the vets to the kennels, cattery, whatever, until they close. So I need to head off now, like now, in order to get her dropped off. So I will see you guys in a bit. So it's currently Friday, and I am 5 weeks and 6 days, I think, something like that. Let me check my 5 weeks and 6 days. We are actually going on holiday up to Scotland today for our first weekend away, just me and Jason, which now turns out is not going to be just me and Jason, which is very exciting. Oh, we are very much looking forward to it. The girls are actually going to be staying at Jason's mum and dad's. Yeah, you are. You're going to be staying with your nana and granddad. You are. And today is also the day we finally tell Jason's parents. Now, it's actually funny. I've been watching, as I've said before, quite a lot of first trimester vlogs. That's enough squeaking. Now, if you're going to squeak, you go away. I've been watching quite a lot of first trimester vlogs, and there are several where they've actually taken like 7 or 8 pregnancy tests to confirm that they are actually pregnant, whereas I've just taken the one, just accepted it as truth, which is this one right here, which is now a bit faded, as you can see, but it's still there. I thought, seeing as we're telling Jason's mum and dad today, and the main pregnancy line on this one is actually like half disappeared, I thought, just to be 1000% sure, I've still not had my period, So I'm pretty confident everything's still fine and everything's going great. But I thought, just to be 1000% sure, I'm going to do what a lot of the other girls do and take another pregnancy test just to confirm, because it's been a week and a half now since I originally tested. So I've taken a second pregnancy test, which again confirms I am very much pregnant. But the line is so much more solid than the first one if I just put them side by side. So you can see the line on the first one, which is this one, is semi-faded but still very visible, whereas the line on the second one is extremely solid. Like, you cannot deny that is a solid lie. Like, damn. So this is the one we're actually going to show Jason's mum and dad. We've actually got a card for them, which we wrote out from the baby, who we have named Little Minion, because we don't know why we both came up with that nickname. And it essentially says to the names of Jason's parents, and then in brackets, my grandparents, and then a little thing saying, thank you for all the holidays, thank you for all the meals, thank you for all the help, thank you for helping us buy our first home. And then at the end of the card, like, it's a lot better worded than that, but then the end of the card, it says, my mum and dad are so lucky to have you in their lives, and I can't wait to meet you next year. Lots of love, Little Minion. I'm pretty sure they're gonna click on, but just in case they don't, or they're a bit bemused or befuzzled or confused, we have this just to solidify the answer. It was weird. It was actually sort of more for myself as well, just to reinstate, no, I am actually pregnant. I'm not imagining it, because like I said, these people are taking like 4 or 5 tests each that are all saying they're pregnant, and I've took the one and just took it as gospel. So now I have a second one nearly a week and a half later to confirm, no, it is definitely a fact. We are definitely pregnant. We are definitely expecting. And I can't wait to tell his parents today. It's going to be so much fun. But like I said, we are also going on holiday. I'm not going to be filming much of the holiday. I am going to be filming bits for my memories, because I do like to make memories of my memory videos for my holidays, because my memory is terrible. I do tend to forget. Yes, you're very noisy today. Again, we can't wait to go on holiday, and we really can't wait to tell Jason's parents. I still feel bad that we're not telling my parents until after our first trimester, but we don't want too many people to know. We've already had to tell my clients, because obviously being pregnant is going to affect my job, being a high risk job and having an increased chance of falling due to the train and stuff. So my clients are already aware, and I believe Jason is going to be inquiring about parental leave next time he goes into work, which might raise a few eyebrows. And obviously my 2 best friends know, but we're trying to keep it as just that. Stop squeaking. We're trying to keep it as just that for people that know, and waiting to tell everyone else until after our first trimester. But yeah, we are nearly in week 6, which is very exciting. Although it gets a bit confusing, because according to the Badger Notes app, which is like the UK midwifery app once you actually find out you're pregnant, according to that, I'm actually about to start week 7, but I have a more extended cycle than most people. So I'm actually more likely to be coming into week 6 based off when I most likely ovulated. So I don't know. I don't know at the moment. Hi. So if we go off the start of my last period, I'm actually in week 7. If we go on the fact that I have an extended cycle and I most likely ovulated later than the average person, I'm actually probably more likely to be week 6. So I'm going off my Garmin, going off the NHS due date calculator, which says that I am in week 6, not week 7. So I am going off that for the time being. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm in week 6, and we will get a more accurate date should I ever actually get a booking appointment from the midwife. Yes, squeaky. Because as of yet, it's been over a week and a half since I actually put my details in, and I've still not got an appointment date for my booking appointment, so we will see. But we're going to get going now, because we are yes, you're so excited with us. We're going to go break the news to Jason's mum and dad now, which is very exciting and very nerve-wracking and very scary. Wish us luck. And again, I'm not going to share their reactions, just because it is going to be very personal, very private. And while I would like to see their reactions or have that as my memory, and I know it would have great views for YouTube, again, it means having to ask permission of every single family member and relative that we have. And then if I put it up without asking, and then they suddenly want me to take it down, or they don't want their photos online, it gets very complicated, you know what I mean? So we're going to keep it private, or their reactions private, and just savour the moment as memories. Right, we best get going. We need to take you to Nan and Grandad. We do.